Right. So these are the questions from the last class, right? First question ki answer enti? Since there are 12 elements, since 12 can be expressed as product of two numbers in 6 ways, so there exist 6 different order matrices with 12 elements, and these orders are like that. And coming to the second question, maximum number of zeros in a scalar matrix. See, here the order of the matrix is not mentioned. Since the order is not mentioned, we need to treat it like an unordered matrix. And since we are discussing about scalar matrix, for sure it must be a square matrix. Okay, we can't mention rectangular matrix as scalar. Okay, if it is a square matrix, what is scalar matrix actually? So if we have a square matrix of order n by n, all these diagonal elements should be equal and all the other elements are zeros. Any number of elements, all the other elements are zeros. Okay, and now we are discussing about the maximum number of zeros in a scalar matrix. As per the definition of scalar matrix which we discussed in the last class, okay, all the non-diagonal elements must be zeros, and we need at least one non-zero element in the diagonal if among the diagonal elements. Okay, see, we don't need all non-zero elements here. If there is one non-zero element, then only we say it as a not like that. Okay, scalar matrix. Okay, since scalar matrix, I am thinking about diagonal, we just leave about it. Since it is scalar matrix, every element should be equal here, right? All the elements should be equal. So you may say k like that. Okay. So in such case, these diagonal elements are non-zeros, and all the non-diagonal elements are zeros, and the number of non-diagonal elements are n square minus n. Since the order is n by n, totally there exist n square elements, and among those n square elements, n elements are the diagonal elements, and all those diagonal elements equals to the same non-zero constant value. So leave all those n values there, and the remaining elements are n square minus n. Okay, right. That's the second problem. Whereas coming to the third one, see, we need to construct matrix B with this particular definition, and the order is given like 4 by 5. 4 by 5 in the sense 4 into 5, there exist 20 elements in the matrix. Okay, I think you are all aware of writing that B with the definition. B is of order 4 by 5, so we may take B11, B12, B13, B14, B15. Since there are 4 rows and 5 columns, we need to take 5 elements in the first row. Okay, and whereas coming to the second row, B21, third row, B31, fourth row, B41, like that. If we continue, this is B45, and totally there exist 20 elements in such manner. Okay, we need to fill the elements, all those elements. And now we need to replace each Bij with this particular definition. What is the definition? 2i plus 3j. 2 times of the first value I plus 3 times of the second value j. So for suppose I will fill some elements, and then you just try to fill the remaining. For suppose if you take B11, I is 1 and j is 1. So replace I and j with 1, then 2 into 1 plus 3 into 1 is 5. So the first element is 5. Whereas if you go for the second element like B12, I is 1 and j is 2, replace I with 1 and j with 2. I with 1, 2 into 1 is 2, j with 2, 3 into 2 is 6, 6 plus 2 is 8. Okay, like that we need to fill all the elements. Whereas if you come to the last element possibility, B4, 5. I is 4 and j is 5. Replace I with 4, 4 2s is 8. Replace j with 5, 3 5s is 15. 15 plus 8 is 23. Okay, just have a look. In a similar pattern, by using the definition of 2i plus 3j, easily we can replace each and every element there. Okay. Okay. First one is equality of matrices. Equality of matrices or equal matrices. That in the sense we need to say two matrices are equal whenever they are equal. See, we say two matrices are equal if their order should be equal, if their orders and corresponding elements their order should be equal as well as their corresponding elements also equal. Okay, same, maybe you may say it as same. Then we call those two matrices are equal matrices. For example, I have a matrix. I may say it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4 is one matrix, and I have another matrix. Same thing, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Both the matrices are of order 2 by 2, and the elements are same. Then easily we can say those two are equal. Why? Because by seeing it is very clear that the elements and the orders both are same. Okay. See, coming for example. See, if A is a matrix of order 2 by 3 and B is a matrix of order 3 by 2, we don't call these two as equal. Okay. See, without discussing about the elements, for sure we will confirm that since the orders are different, they can't be equal. Okay. So the first thing, their order should be equal, and the second thing, corresponding elements should be equal. Okay. For example, I have another situation like this. Okay. Yeah. 3 x minus 4 5 2 7 y plus 1. This is a matrix, and whose order is, we know that since there are 2 rows and 3 columns, we call it as a matrix of order 2 by 3. And this is equals to another matrix like this: 3 4 5 2 7 6. Okay. Then what are the values of x and y? See, if this is given as per the situation, if it is given, then what are the values of x and y? Since it is given, it is very clear that since their orders are same and equality sign is used between those two matrices, that in the sense we say those two matrices as equal matrices, and since they are equal, their corresponding elements are equal. So if you check for the corresponding elements, here it is 2 and here it is 2 balanced, and it is x minus 4, it is 4. So if you balance it, you will get x is equals to 8. Okay. And in the same manner, 5 is balanced, 2 is balanced, 7 is balanced. If you equalize y plus 1 with 6, you will get the value of y as 5. So by using the equality of matrices, sometimes we will find these missing variables or missing elements of the matrix. Okay. So at the end, once again, to say two matrices as equal, first of all you need to check about their orders. If their orders are equal, then you need to check about their corresponding elements. If these two conditions are satisfied by those two matrices, then we confirm that those two matrices as equal. Okay. See, very simple thing actually, but as a theory we need to discuss, and that's why I mentioned you here. Okay. That is the thing about the equality of matrices. And the next thing is about the scalar multiplication of a matrix. Just have a look at this. See, what is the scalar multiplication of a matrix? Usually scalar is nothing but a constant value, and we know a matrix, and now here we are going to multiply a scalar with a matrix. How its definition is created? Just have a look at this. For example, I have a number k. It's a constant, you may say it as scalar, and I have a matrix like a, b, c, d. Okay. So the multiplication of this number k with the matrix A, B, C, D is defined. The scalar multiplication is defined actually, and we need to accept that definition, and further we need to move using that definition to solve the problems. Okay. And the definition is just this thing. Okay. If you multiply a number k with the matrix A, it becomes like Ka, Kb, Kc, Kd. We need to distribute that k for each and every element of the matrix. We need to multiply each and every element of the matrix with that particular k. That is simply what? Scalar multiplication. For example, I have some 3 into 1, 2, 3, minus 4, 0, you may say it as minus 1. Okay. So 3 is a number, and that 1, 2, 3 minus 4, 0 minus 1 is a matrix, and the order of this matrix is what? 3 rows and 2 columns, 3 by 2. Since we are multiplying this number with that matrix, simply it is just nothing but you need to multiply each and every element with that particular 3. So 3 into 1 is 3, 3 into 2 is 6, 3 into 3 is 9, 3 into minus 4 is minus 12, 3 into 0, what it is? 0, and 3 into minus 1 is minus 3. Okay, that is the task. So at the end, what we conclude? Scalar multiplication is just nothing but we need to multiply each and every element of the matrix with the constant value, with the scalar value. Okay, you just memorize it. Okay, you just treat this as the definition and memorize it. There is the task. That's simply scalar multiplication. Okay. And the next thing, see, we need to discuss different properties related to all these operations. different properties related to the scalar multiplication, different properties related to the addition, subtraction, different properties of multiplication. All these things we need to discuss. But at present, in these points like 10, 11 and 12, first of all, I am mentioning here the definitions related to these operations, okay? And the next problem, the next points, we are going to discuss all those properties, okay? Right. I am erasing this. You need to memorize that. What is scalar multiplication? It is just simply you need to multiply every element of the matrix with the constant. You just don't bother about the order. It may be square matrix, it may be rectangular matrix, it may be of order 2 by 2, 3 by 3, 4 by 4, any larger, anything, okay, no problem. You just multiply every element with this constant value k, then that resultant matrix is the scalar multiplication. There ends the task. And now we need to discuss about what? Addition and subtraction of matrices. See, addition and subtraction of matrices is also possible in element wise. Okay, that's the thing basically you need to identify. Addition and subtraction is possible with element wise, and since we are searching for the corresponding elements, their orders should be same. Orders should be same. Okay, I will give you a few examples now. See, to add and subtract two matrices, we need to first of all check about their orders. If their orders are same, then there is a possibility to add or subtract. And the next thing is, while adding, you need to just combine the corresponding elements. That's it. Okay, I will give you the examples. Just have a look. For the space concern, I am erasing these two. Okay. Right. So for example, if I have something like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 is one matrix, plus another matrix is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we need to add these two matrices. Yeah, how to add? First of all, you just think about the orders. The first matrix is of order 2 rows and 3 columns 2 by 3. Second matrix is also of order 2 rows and 3 columns 2 by 3. Since the orders are same, and just simply you just add the elements. So the resultant matrix is just nothing but add these corresponding elements. So 3 plus 1, add the next corresponding elements, 4 plus 2, and then 5 plus 3, and then 6 plus 4, and then 7, its corresponding element is 5, 7 plus 5, 2, its corresponding element is 6, 2 plus 6. And the next step, simply directly we write the summations, and this is equals to, how can we write? This is equals to 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 8, and that's the sum of these two matrices. So you need to memorize that. The addition is possible if, according, see, element wise it is possible, okay? Subtraction is also in the same pattern. If we use subtraction sign, minus sign in between these two, you just use minus sign in between these corresponding elements, and corresponding to that we will get the resultant matrix. Okay, I will give you one more example. Just have a look. For the space concern, I will erase this. You just memorize it. Addition and subtraction of matrices is possible. First thing, element wise, and second thing, order should be same. You need to think about the orders, and then you need to search for the corresponding elements. One more example, if you look there. For example, I have a matrix like this, 3, 4, 7, 8, plus I have one more problem here, 1, 2, 5, minus 1, 0, 6. Is there any possibility to add? See, while adding, you need to think about their orders. The order of this matrix is how much? 2 rows and 2 columns 2 by 2. And what is the order of this matrix? 3 rows and 2 columns 3 by 2. So then there is no possibility to add. Addition is possible only between the matrices of same orders. If the matrices are of different orders, then addition is actually not possible. Okay, so that's why here this addition is not possible. Why? Because if you wish to add correspondingly, 3 corresponding element is 4, 4 its corresponding element is 2, 7 corresponding element is 5, 8 corresponding element is minus 1. But there are no other elements corresponding to this 0 and 6, so we can't add. And that's why addition is not possible. In the same way, subtraction is also not possible. For example, instead of that, if I have this 3, 4, 7, 8 minus 1, 2, 5 minus 1. So then what you say about the subtraction? See here the orders are same. It is 2 by 2, that is also 2 by 2. So for sure there exist corresponding elements for each and every number. So you just go with the corresponding subtraction. 3 minus 1 is 2. Directly I am writing. 4 minus 2 is 2. And then 7 minus 5 is 2. And then 8 minus of minus 1, 8 plus 1 is 9. And that's simply about the subtraction of matrices. Okay. So just observe it. Have a look about the scalar multiplication, addition and subtraction of matrices. See, scalar multiplication, addition, subtraction and the multiplication. See, the way of adding two matrices, the way of multiplying two matrices, all these things are the basic definitions. We need to accept those and we need to move further. Okay. And scalar multiplication of matrices is different from the multiplication of matrices. In scalar multiplication, we just multiplied one matrix with a number. Okay, one matrix with a number. But whereas in multiplication of matrices, here we need to multiply two matrices. So multiplication of two matrices is, first thing is not element wise. Okay, addition is element wise and subtraction is also element wise, but multiplication is not element wise. That in the sense you can't multiply their corresponding elements. Okay, you don't get the resultant matrix just by simply, okay, for example, if I have 2, 4, 7, 9 and I need to multiply another matrix like this 3, 4, 2, 1. Okay, since we are going to multiply these two, it is not through element wise. Okay, that in the sense you don't write it like this. 2 into 3 is 6, 4 into 4 is 16, 7 2s is 14, 9 1s is 9. This is not correct. Okay, multiplication is not element wise. So there is a special definition related to the multiplication and that definition we need to follow. Okay, and that definition is, see, to understand that, simply I will mention you here. Yeah, for example, if we have in first matrix there are different rows, right? There are different rows in first matrix, there exist different columns in the second matrix. For suppose there are different rows in the first matrix, row 1, row 2, row 3, like that. There exist some elements also, but I am not mentioning all those elements. Simply I am giving you that row 1, row 2, row 3 are the rows of the first matrix. And this, when you are multiplying the second matrix, for the second matrix you just think about their columns, column 1, column 2 and then column 4. See, in each and every matrix there are some rows and there are some columns, but before going to multiply the matrix, first of all you need to observe the rows of the first matrix and columns of the second matrix. That's what I am mentioning you. What? You need to observe rows of the first matrix and columns of the second matrix. So for suppose if you have rows like this and columns like this, then the multiplication of these two matrices is simply given by, you just think about it, this place is what? First row and first column. So this is first row and first column. You need to multiply row 1 and C1. Okay, and this is first row and second column position. This is R1 C2. First row and third column R1 C3. And this is second row and first column. This is second row and second column. This is third row and first column, and like that it continues. Again I will give you some examples to clarify. Okay, but first of all just you identify this as the definition, right? To multiply two matrices, in the first matrix you need to observe the rows and in the second matrix you need to observe the columns, and as a result for the product you need to write like this. And among this, for suppose if you say sum this R1 C2, what is this R1 C2? Okay, again there is a special definition for that. Here you may take R1 C1, R1 C2, R1 C3, anything, no problem. Simply I am saying, if you say Ri Cj, what is this Ri Cj? This is just nothing but sum of products of elements from Ri and Cj, whereas Ri is ith row of the first matrix and Cj is jth column of the second matrix. Okay. See, if you look, the definitions looks like somewhat complicated, but if you go with an example, automatically you will get a clear idea. First of all, I have a screenshot and then I will give you the examples. With the example, you will get a clear and confident idea on this. Okay. Multiplication of matrices. I am erasing this. So before going to start the multiplication of two matrices, you need to identify that the number of rows in the first matrix and the number of column in the second matrix. And here what I am doing, after identifying the rows of the first matrix and columns of the second matrix, I am just multiplying what? See, these rows correspondingly with these columns R1, C1, R1, C2, R1, C3 like that. Okay. And to satisfy this, we need to follow one more condition and I will give you here. Yeah, I am erasing this and I will give you the example. Just simply look there. For example, if my first matrix is like this 1, 2, 3, 4 and the second matrix is anything you may take. Okay, 3, 5, 0, something you say 7, and we need to multiply these two. So before going to write, what I am saying you is, see, this is first row, this is second row of the first matrix, this is first column and this is second column of the second matrix. To multiply these two, first of all, you just think about this position. This position is first row, first column position. So you may take it as R1, C1. And this position is first row, second column position. You may take it as R1, C2. Okay. And you may take it as R1, C3. But there is no third column. You just no need to identify this. Okay. R1, C3 is not possible here. And whereas this position is second row, first column. You may take it as R2, C1. Second row, second column, R2, C2, and this is not possible. And here in the first matrix, there is no third row. So don't think about all these things. So at the end, you will get only these four elements as a result. And what to say about R1, C1? R1, C1 is this first row and this first column. And to calculate this R1, C1 value, that is the sum of the products of the corresponding elements. That in the sense, this is equals to R1, C1. Once again look there, 1 into 3 plus 2 into 0. First row and first column. You just multiply first row and first column corresponding elements and then add the results. Okay, 1 into 3 plus 2 into 0. Whereas this is R1, C2. First row, second column. Again correspondingly multiply and then add 1 into 5 plus this 2 into 7. And the next thing is second row, first column. So that is 3 into 3 plus 4 into 0. And second row, second column. 3 into 5 plus 4 into 7. Initially it may give you some confusion, but as a practice automatically you will get a clear idea. Okay? Yeah. So this is the multiplication, and if you simplify, 1 into 3 is 3 plus 0 is 3. 1 into 5 is 5 plus 14 is 19. 3 into 3 is 9 plus 0 is 9. 3 into 5 is 15. 4 into 7 is 28. 15 plus 28 is around about 43. So just look there, and that's the multiplication of these two matrices 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 5, 0, 7. Just have a look. If you need, go for a screenshot. And while going with the multiplication, one more thing you need to memorize is, see, 1 into 3, 2 into 0. 1 into 3, 2 into 0. That in the sense, there are two columns here and two rows here, so the multiplication is possible. Or suppose if I have one more row in the second matrix, like this. For example, if I have one more thing here, like minus 1 and 2, then is there any possibility to multiply? So to multiply, we need to go with the corresponding elements of first row and first column. 1 into 3, 2 into 0, and then there is no corresponding element for this minus 1 in the first matrix. So here multiplication is not possible. Okay, so for that our idea is to multiply. We need to think about, while multiplying we need to think about rows of the first matrix and columns of the second matrix. For multiplication we need to think about columns of the first matrix and rows of the second matrix. Is it clear? Once again I will give you. First of all, you just look about this. There are two different aspects. Okay, while multiplication in the sense, if you start the process of multiplication, while multiplication you need to think about rows of matrix 1 and columns of matrix 2. Okay, but for multiplication, see, first of all you need to check whether that multiplication is possible or not. For multiplication you need to think about columns of matrix 1 and rows of matrix 2. And one more idea is multiplication is possible. Okay, multiplication is possible only if columns of matrix 1 is equals to rows of matrix 2. If it happens, then only multiplication is possible, or otherwise multiplication is not possible. Okay, you need to memorize this. Columns of first matrix is equals to rows of second matrix. If it happens, then only multiplication is possible. And if multiplication is possible, to get the resultant matrix, now you need to think about the rows of matrix 1 and columns of matrix 2. As per the discussion you need to move. Okay, I will give you few more examples. First have a look, and if you need, go for a screenshot, right? Yeah, let us see some examples. Directly I will give you. This is all about the multiplication of matrices. For example, I have a matrix A whose order is 2 by 3, and I have another matrix B whose order is 2 by 2. And then if you think there, what are the number of columns in the second matrix? This 3 represents the number of columns of second matrix. This 2 represents the number of rows of first matrix. Since these two are not equal, so multiplication of A and B is not possible. That's what I am saying. So to multiply, these two elements should be equal. And for example, if A is a matrix of order 2 by 3 into B is a matrix of order, you may say 3 by 1. And then you just think about the number of columns of first matrix and the rows of second matrix. These two elements, they are equal. Since 3 and 3 are equal, then in this case multiplication is possible, and the resultant matrix is AB, is of order, this 2 and that one you need to think about it, is of order 2 by 1. Is it clear? To multiply you need to check these two numbers. If they are equal, multiplication is possible, and the resultant matrix is of order this 2 by that 1. I will give you the example here. So you need to take a matrix of order 2 by 3, 2 rows and 3 columns. Okay, 2 rows and 3 columns. You simply take minus 1, 0, 4, 3, 5 and 2. 2 rows and 3 columns. Here I need to take another matrix of 3 rows and 1 column. 3 rows and 1 column. Okay, so for that you just simply take 1, 2, 3. And sure this order is 2 by 3, and sure this order is 3 by 1, and we are multiplying. Is multiplication is possible? Surely possible. And as per the definition you need to think about, see, every time no need to write this R1, C1 and so on. But if you need, just go with this R1, C1, first row and first column. Okay. And next thing is what? R1, C2, first row and second column. But there is no second column in the second matrix, so don't think about this idea. And next thing is R1, C1 is over. And the next thing is what? This element is R2, C1. Okay. And there is no third row here, R3, C1. See, since there is no third row in the first matrix, don't bother about this idea. And at the end there are only two elements, R1, C1 and R2, C1. So this resultant matrix contains only two elements, R1, C1 and R2, C1. Okay. Yeah. And at the end, if you multiply, how you will get? First row with the first column. See, simply I am writing minus 1 into 1 is minus 1 plus, 0 into 2 is 0 plus, 4 into 3 is 12. And next, 3 into 1 is 3 plus, 5 into 2 is 10 plus, 2 into 3 is 6. And if you multiply 12 minus 1 is 11, and here it is 19, and 11 comma 11 19, whose order is 2 rows and 1 column. Is it right directly? Okay, and this is the multiplication of the matrix. So as per the definition, every time you need to check for the row of the first matrix, column of the first matrix, row of the first matrix, column of the second matrix. Like that we need to continue. Okay, I will give you some more examples, and before that, once again, see, think about it, have a screenshot. Look at the board. We need to multiply those two matrices. First of all, what is the order of the first matrix and order of the second matrix? See, the order of the first matrix is 2 by 2, and the order of the second matrix is 2 by 3. 2 rows and 3 columns, is it right? So here, these 2 and that 2 are same. So, right, multiplication is possible. So this multiplication is possible, and the resultant matrix is of order 2 by 3. These numbers, you need to think about these 2 and that 3. Okay, if they are equal, multiplication is possible, and the resultant matrix is of order that 2 by 3. And while multiplying, how to think about it? Directly I am going to write. So while multiplying, this is first row and first column. So for that, you just think about first row and first column correspondingly. 3 into minus 1 plus 4 into 3. There ends first row, first column. Then this position. This position is what? First row and second column. Again first row and second column. So 3 into minus 2 plus 4 into minus 4. And this position is first row, third column. So 3 into 0 plus 4 into 1. And again first row, fourth column. Since there is no fourth column, you won't get additional columns here. There ends the part. And now for this second row, first column. This is second row and this is second column. So 5 into minus 1 plus minus 1 into 3. 5 into minus 1 minus 1 into 3. And then second row, second column. 5 into minus 2 plus minus 1 into minus 4. And then second row, third column. 5 into 0 plus minus 1 into 1. So additional columns are not there. Here there are no additional rows. So you won't get additional rows again. So if you look there, this is 2 rows and 3 columns as per the observation. Its order is 2 by 3. And further we need to simplify. The simplification part is simple. 12 minus 3 is what? 9. Like that you need to write. Yeah, if you write, what will happen? 4 3s is 12, minus 3 is 9, minus 16 and minus 6 maybe minus 22, and 0 plus 4 is 4. And here minus 5 and minus 3 minus 8, and there minus 10 plus 4 minus 6, and 0 minus 1 is minus 1, and that's the matrix. The product of these two is that resultant matrix. Okay, just have a look. You just try that. Okay, matrix A